Welcome back to Tactical Touch, where we explore the birth of football clubs that didn't just raise trophies, they raised identity, loyalty, and entire communities. We've walked the loud streets of Marseille, we've heard the industrial echo of Liverpool's rebellion. Now we arrive somewhere softer, more reserved, but no less passionate. We're in Bordeaux, a city of elegance, of wine, of whispers that speak louder than shouts. And here, tucked beneath the city's grand facades and tree-lined boulevards, lives a club that once defined what it meant to win with style, and now struggles to remember who it is. This is the story of Girondins de Bordeaux, a club that once had France at its feet, and today wonders if its own feet have been cut from under it. It starts in 1881, not with a ball, but with a book of rules and a gymnastics class. The club was called Girondins Omnisports, and football didn't even show up on the radar until decades later. Bordeaux, after all, wasn't a football town. It was a place of art, commerce, and diplomacy. Rugby ruled the Southwest, and football was a curiosity. But slowly that changed. By 1910, the Girondins played their first matches. By 1919, they were here to stay. And by 1937, they turned professional, just in time for war. But here's the thing. Bordeaux never chased football for fame. It was always more about class than chaos. When Paris wanted attention, Bordeaux wanted distinction. You didn't go to Bordeaux to scream. You went to Bordeaux to watch football that felt like wine tasting. Subtle, elegant, deeply satisfying. At the heart of it all was Stade Chaban-Delmas, known to fans as Lescure. It wasn't just a stadium, it was a cathedral, a living, breathing monument nestled into the center of the city, surrounded by trees and old walls. Built in the 1930s, Lescure was one of the first stadiums in the world to have all-covered seating. It had soul. It had noise when it wanted it. But more often, it had presence. It wasn't loud like Marseille. It didn't need to be. At Lescure, Bordeaux fans didn't scream. They judged. They expected beauty. They expected passing. They expected grace. And during the club's golden era, in the 1980s under coach Aimé Jacquet and later under the genius of Zidane in the 90s, they got exactly that. Girondins de Bordeaux played with poetry, and Lescure was the stage. This was the club of Alain Giresse, the quiet general of France's golden midfield, of Jean Tigana, Zinedine Zidane, Bixente Lizarazu, of Marius Trésor, who played with fire but always with control. They didn't just win. They elevated the game. 6 French championships, 4 French Cups, a UEFA Cup final in 1996. And through it all, Bordeaux kept its image. Sophisticated, selective, serious. But then came 2015. A new stadium, a new chapter, and for many fans, the beginning of the end. The club moved from Lescure to the Matmut Atlantique, a modern arena on the edge of the city. It had more seats, more glass, better parking, but no history, no intimacy, no soul. The atmosphere? Cold. The sound? Swallowed. The fan base? Fragmented. Where Lescure was a neighborhood, Matmut was a mall. And slowly the passion that once felt timeless began to fade. For some fans, it wasn't even the results that hurt. It was that the club no longer felt like Bordeaux. Today, Bordeaux fights to avoid obscurity, financial turmoil, relegation scares, fan protests. But the pain goes deeper than the table. It's existential. Because to be a Bordeaux supporter is to believe in the power of style over speed, of control over chaos, of subtlety over noise. It's to support a team that may not chant the loudest, but knows when to rise in unison, like a glass of red held in reverence. And now, that identity feels like it's slipping away. But here's the truth. A club that taught France how to win with class does not forget its own class. And in the quiet corners of this city, in cafes and back streets, and in the hearts of fans who once stood at Lescure, the flame still burns. Girondins de Bordeaux wasn't born to dominate headlines. It was born to represent Bordeaux, a city that doesn't shout but laughs. From a club founded by gymnasts, to a footballing institution draped in elegance, to a fan base searching for its soul. This is the journey of Bordeaux. Because sometimes football isn't about volume. Sometimes it's about presence. Thanks for listening to Tactical Touch. If this story moved you, share it with someone who still believes that football clubs can carry the identity of an entire city, even in silence. Next time, we're heading to a different country, a different club, but once again a place where football was never just a game.